a jellyfish and a turtle. So turtle's pretty simple. So with your clay, a little chunk for the head, the turtle shell, and chunk for your feet. So you roll it into a ball, make a hole, and then this will be how big, this will determine how big your turtle is. Okay, and I like to flatten the shell, just like that. I add my details after I have attached everything. Now I'm going to make my little head, so I can do it like this, or I can mold it around my finger if I want to make the head wider. So this is a pinch pot with your pointer finger, this finger. Then I have 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, and a little tail. Then now I'm ready to attach. Scrub what you want to glue, scrub where it goes, and stick it. And use this to smooth it out and connect it. And then the turtle, after you connect your arms on the front, you do have to flip it over to the back and make sure it's connected back here. Then make sure it's connected again on the front, and now you're ready to create your details. So you can draw out whatever type of design you want within the shell. I like to add a spiral, but you can do what you want. You can make a light line where the shell ends, and you need to make sure you add in those eyes. 1 on each side, and the holes need to go all the way through. And then I add the mouth, just like that. So there's my little turtle. Again, write your class code and at least your initials on the bottom before you put it on the blue tray. And now I'm going to do a jellyfish. Ball, thumb, pinch. That's the top of my jellyfish. If I want it to hang, like this example, you need to poke a hole. I would advise poking 2 holes on the top. That way we can put string inside and then connect that to a wire stand. Now with holes, they can be a little tricky. You gotta make sure that it goes all the way through. You have to make sure you have this step first before you add tentacles. So just like an octopus, you would make your tentacles. So an octopus, for instance, you would add 8 tentacles. Jellyfish, there's not a set number. And the tentacles go down here. So you do have to scrub the area, but then you can start to just stick them on. So I like to add them all the way around if I'm doing a jellyfish. This right here is a jellyfish, and that will stand up. All right, so for an octopus like this, you start off by grabbing a good chunk of clay, and instead of making a hole with your thumb, you make a hole with your finger, and then you just press it down. And this is the head. You want the head to be pretty long. So just like that. And then you can start to roll out your tentacles. So that's 1, 2, and then you scrub this right here, and then you just start to stick it, and then you can have it curve towards the end, and you just keep layering it until you're ready to add in the eyes. So all the tentacles, looking at pictures, they come from the bottom. So just like that, and then when you're ready to add in the eyes, I like to create 2 spheres, 2 little balls of clay. Scrub where it's gonna go and make sure it's like right on the side. And then you stick it on. And then you can take your needle tool, poke your holes, and poke a bunch of holes back here, especially for the texture and to make sure it doesn't explode. So that is how you make an octopus. And I also forgot to show you guys how to create a dolphin. So snake is the easiest. This is like the second easiest. Okay, so chunk of clay for the details, chunk of clay for your coil, and you just make a coil. Just like this. You just make a coil, and then you start to shape out the little nose, and you have it get narrower and narrower as it gets to the tail. So you kind of pinch it to make it narrow in the back too. Okay, so this is my dolphin. I think I'll prefer it to be a little bit thicker, but that's okay. Then for the tail, you take some clay, flatten it. You can draw out the triangles, and then you cut it out with your popsicle stick. You can also shape it with your fingers. And then you just add it back here like that. Scrub what you want to glue, scrub where it goes, then stick it. We could also have the dolphin lean against something so that this stays up. And then now I'm ready to add in the little fins. So they're just coils that have been flattened. Coils that have been flattened, and this is the last one. Flat, and then you turn it into a triangle. And now let's scrub our areas. Put our toothbrush back in the water, and then attach. And there you go. Now we poke our holes for our eyes, and then the little blowhole. And there's my little baby dolphin. And then I'm gonna probably have to have this lean against something so that it stays up. So that's it.